Welcome back to CAD 293, and we are working in SolidWorks. This is week 9, and we're doing a little bit of reference geometry with some auxiliary views. And basically, all we're going to be doing is working with planes and axes and setting those up. And it's very important in a parametric modeling program to understand how to use the work planes and work axes. So I want to do this a little different than your book does. You can follow along with the book, but I want to show you a few other things and just show you a different way of doing this. Uh, I want to start out with this, and I want to hit reference geometry because I want to put a a work plane more or less centered up here and centered up over here. And there's different ways to do it. Let me show you how to do some of this. Just that way, it'll help you in the future. Just hit plane and come over here. If this is not showing up, you just hit your little arrow fly out here. It brings it up. And it just depends on how you draw this, on what plane you draw it on, what your front and top and right plane will be. So I want that one right there, which is going to be on my right plane. So I click on that. I just come over here and click this edge. And all I have to do, see how that's exactly where I want that plane to be. And I want that to be parallel. And see if I went perpendicular, it'd put it different. If I hit parallel, that's perfect. So I click good on that. So I've got myself a plane. I want to do the same thing again to this side over here. Plane. And I actually just come over here and click on that edge, just like that. And now it's wanting to do an angle. So I just want to come up here and hit parallel, and it puts it flat up against it again. So I've got two planes now. So I want to put one right in the dead center. So all I have to do is come up here to reference geometry, plane, and see there's a mid plane. All I have to do is, this one's already selected, so I click on this one and click on mid plane. It's right in the center. And select. So I've got me a big plane right in the middle of this thing. And now I want to do the same thing going across the other way. So I just come up here, plane, open my fly out, and I find the one that's going to look correct like that. Let me start that again. Hit the wrong button. I want that one right there. Come over here and click that edge. Hit parallel. I've got it. I want to do the other side the same way. I want to hit reference plane, and I can reference, this one's already selected, so I just click on that line there. It's wanting to do an angle, so I'm just going to tell it no, I want to do parallel. I want this to be parallel to each other. They're right exactly on those edge or on those planes. That's where I want them at. And again, now I want to find the center, and just go reference geometry, plane. This one selected. Come over here now, click on that one. It puts it dead in the center. Just select it. And now what I want to do is come in here and I want to hide some of these planes. And it's pretty easy to do. You can do it over here in your history. Just go up here and it'll highlight them. Just right click and there's a hide button. Or you can simply just click on the ones you want to hide. And there's a little eyeball. You just click on it. And I'll go ahead and I'll take those off. Just like that. So now at this point you've got it centered up with your planes, and all you have to do is you want to put an axis line right through the middle of this, and I can do that. I can come up here to reference geometry, axis, and all you have to do is just over here, two planes, click on that, and click this plane and this plane, puts this axis line right through the center of that. So I've got me an axis line there, and looking pretty good. So now what I want to do is I want to put me the plane. I'll grab this plane right here, but I want it angled, and the book says 30 degrees, which would match up with these holes. So all you got to do is, again, just come up here, plane, and grab a hold of this plane here. Back. Plane. I click on this plane, and then I want this axis, and then you can go in here and you can give it an angle, and let's say I want 30 degrees, and then click, and bingo. Now if you don't hit it exactly where you want, you got this flip offset, you can click it and it'll take it the other way. But that right there is perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So I just select it, and then I want to hide the rest of these planes just so I don't get so much going on I can't see what I'm doing. So I hide all that stuff. I'll hide perfect. And now you can just go in here, sketch, grab that plane there. You got your sketch on there and it's ready to go. And you can go ahead and start drawing. Okay, after you get that set up, you got your sketch ready to go. You can come up here, and there is a button up here that lets you look at that your sketch dead on, and it is right here. It's called Normal 2, and it just actually just pulls it up there where you can look at it at a normal view and be able to work on this project. It puts it flat so I can go ahead and start drawing. So now we can go ahead and start putting this in there. And what I want to do is just line. I know this point right here, this plane line, is exactly in the center where I need to go. I want to go 0.75 with my line, and I'll just put me a line up through here, and then I'll dimension it, and I'll say 0.75. That's half of it. And then I'll hit me a line again. I'll catch that point, and I'm going to come up, and the height of this thing is, well, actually, that'd be fine. I'll just stick my line in there just like that. And I'll put me another line over here, 0.75. I'll just make it extra long there, easy to see. Come up here to Smart Dimension and 0.75 here. Hit my line, catch that point, and bring it straight up. And I don't know yet where I'm going with it, so I'll delete that. Accidentally put that on there. So right in the center of it, I want to come up. It looks like 0.75 on that as well. So I'm just going to click out there, dimension, 0.75, and that's going to be my center spot for. I'll bring that up till it touches at 0.75, and that is 0.75 on the radius. Okay. Now let's come in here and trim all the power trim. Come in here, trim that. Use a power trim so much faster, and I'll clean this up in the middle and this up. Okay. And now I'll go ahead and put a circle right in the middle of it, and it is 0.75 diameter, so it'd be 0.375, which I just go there and click on it, do me a smart dimension, and that would be 0.75 altogether. Just like that, we've got that. Then it's got like little 1/4 inch, looks like little guideways or like keyways. So we'll just come in here at that point, and I'm just going to put little rectangles in here and just adjust them where they need to be. That'd be fine. So smart dimension, this would be 0.25. Good. Smart dimension from here to there, 0.25, just like that. And go in here with your power trim after you get that set up. And also I want to go ahead and just smart dimension and get this side lined up as well. It'll take just a second. That way I know exactly everything's lined up perfectly. sure this is 0.25. Okay, just like that, 0.25, 0.25, all that looks good. Now we'll do a trim, and we'll use the power trim, so much easier. Come in there and do that, then come out here and grab that. And we'll do another power trim, then we'll do another power trim right there. And then we'll get rid of this. Try and grab that and delete it out. And it looks like about to that point there, we can go into exit sketch, and we can go ahead and extrude that in our features, extrude, and grab that, and I want to do midpoint. Okay, and mid-plane, and this one's supposed to be 1 inch, so it'll be ½ inch on both sides of that. Actually, it's 1 inch. It's going to figure out. This one does it a little bit different. So you just go ahead and put your full 1 inch there, and it'll automatically update that. And then just set your selection on there. Good shape. So everything's looking good. Looks like it's lined up where it needs to be. And at this point, I want to take and hide this one. And then I'll hide this. Well, we can leave that axis where I can hide it. I'll go ahead and just hide it. So it didn't delete it, we just hit it. And I want to come in here now, and I want to put a plane. Now you can also, I think the book has it, you can actually turn these things into different styles, like wireframe. I think it does wireframe in there, you know. And you can do that to be able to see inside things a little better. So we've got that figured out. Now I want to put a plane right on the top of this that's tangent, and just hit reference geometry plane. I'm just going to click the face of that, and then come up here and coincide the top of that, or cancel. I'm just going to come up here and just do plane, click on the face of this, and then I want to offset that up. That goes up 0.75, 0.75, so that'd be 1.5. When I do that, it come off this plane 1.5 up, and it makes a new plane. And then when you do that, you got your new plane to make you a sketch on. So go ahead and make your sketch on that plane, and then you can go in and you can put your there's actually another hole there, so we can come in here, and thing of it is, I can't find what's going on here. I can put this in, but I need to make sure that it's right in the center of this thing, so I just go ahead and put that in. Just do my dimensions on it. This thing is 0.25 diameter. And then just come in here and grab your dimensions, and you're able to put that right in. That's 0.5, should be exactly 0.5. And then a dimension from the edge here to this at a aligned angle should be 0.75. And then, of course, just exit your sketch. And now let's just, I want to hide this work plane, and I'll go into features, and we'll do a cut. Grab that hole, and you can actually just go to next, which would be, yeah, just click on this circle here. It'll know what it's going to. You see it's going to stop before it hits that. And that should have your drawing in. So you're ready now to put this thing into a drawing. So I want to save this one, File, Save. And I'm going to start myself up a brand new drawing. And a size landscape, I'll put it in that. That's fine. So I bring this one in. And let's see, that's perfect orientation. I like that. So let's delete. Now I'm just going to move this up. And when you do an auxiliary view, you want to come right off this plane right here. That's your primary auxiliary line. That way you can see this thing straight on. And because right now, if I were to go in and project this image, this is the true orthographic way of doing it, correct? You come over here. The thing of it is, no matter how I project this in true orthographic projection, I'm not going to be able to see the face of this straight on to get the exact measurements. It's always going to be angled away from me. So that's the reason we have auxiliary views. And all you have to do is come up here and hit auxiliary view. And you just click on that edge just like I did, and it'll bring it right in there for you. And you see how now that you have this auxiliary, and now I want to pull that up a little bit so I don't want to hit my title block. Bring that up a little bit like that. You might have to go to a little bit bigger size paper to get this in at 1:1 scale. But that right there will show you the view of that. And I want to take and click, because we need hidden lines on these. So when you come over here, just make sure that you have your hidden lines turned on. And make sure, usually when you come up here and do this is the parent view, that everything follows that. Good. And I want to turn the arrow off right there. You see that. There's no sense of having that because everyone knows that's where that's coming off of. So just get in there and do this project. If you have any issues or any problem with these axes or work planes, just let me know.